Hello, hello. Welcome to the Digital Quill Podcast. I'm your host, Mars Wilson. It's lovely to have everyone here. I have an awesome guest here with me today. I would love for them to introduce themselves, so if you could go ahead and take the stage for me.
Hello, my name is Sam. I've been trying to figure out exactly what to say I am, and the best way to describe that is just a maker. I like to create and make various projects and see where they lead. I'm a musician, a artist, a writer, and many things. And I just kind of really enjoy the process of making, which is why I kind of go along with that wording. Is I just really enjoy the process of making things.
Honestly, I like the idea of a maker better than creator because, I've had this conversation before where you're kind of like, content creation is so saturated. Do you feel like content creation is saturated? Like the word creator, like, I don't know.
It leaves a bad taste in your mouth these days.
Yeah, it kind of does. I wonder when that started.
And not only that is, I feel like creator, I know the connotation of creation and creator is more, when I say maker, I more feel that it's more in the process, the joy of the actual making it, instead of creating it for something.
Creating it for consumption.
Exactly. Like you know me, 90% of my projects never see the light of day. And that's halfly because my benefit I get out of it is the making it. You've been a good influence on me about kind of sharing that stuff more. But it's an odd
mental hurdle to get over.
Exactly. For me to, a perspective for me to even see in is to make something to last the standards of time instead of just make something for the joy of making it.
When you think about like ancient civilizations and how some of their pottery and stuff and like cave paintings are still around, what kind of feelings does that give you?
Well, do you know, have you seen there's actually a petroglyph in the mountains in Santan Valley. And I went to a hike to see it a little while ago. I
might have been there when I was a very little kid.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's very faded, but it's still there, this impression. And I like to believe that, art is sacred. I think, I would like to think we could all agree on that. But I do know that I don't think it was a planned thing. This guy didn't sit here and go, yeah, all this time from now, someone's going to sit here and look at this and contemplate. I think he just wanted to make something. I think he just had an idea and wanted to express it, a feeling, a thought. And that's what art is about. It's not about the monetary value, the consumption. It's about expressing the intangible into something tangible.
So if I understand you correctly, you feel like most makers, most artists, they don't really contemplate how long their art is going to stand the test of time, but rather what they're doing in the moment, the present itself.
I think you can drive yourself insane trying to think if your art will stand the test of time. I mean, you know the whole thing about Van Gogh not selling a painting until after he died.
I believe I've heard the story through various art classes and stuff I've taken, but you might be more versed in that than I am. Would you care to tell me your perspective, your story on that one.
So yeah, Van Gogh is incredibly interesting artist, but one of the most interesting things about him, in my opinion, is that he painted because he wanted to paint. Like, it was his life. It was his. He saw the world through paint, and after, like, when we think of Van Gogh, we think of this legendary painter. Everyone knows Van Gogh, right?
Well, yeah, everyone's heard the name at least one point or another, or saw the artwork on a Target water bottle.
You hear it and you immediately think of some crazy dude cut off his own ear, painted.
Yeah, that's pretty much the envision you invoke when you hear the word Van Gogh. Or
which,
for me,
actually, interestingly, there is a debate in recent circles about whether he cut off his own ear.
So there might have been an attack.
There might have. So it was a duel.
Oh.
I can't remember for the life of me. He in his journals, they've researched it, and they think that maybe he was trying to cover up that this guy did it to him because dueling had just been outlawed.
So he was saving the dignity or respect of another person because they didn't really want to give up their pastime sport.
It wasn't. It was. I think they were angry at each other. It was more settling a grudge than anything else.
Like a bar brawl or something like that. Like what burly bar people usually get up to. I don't know. I've just heard the stories. I don't go to bars.
Yeah, oh no, me neither. Back to what I was saying with Van Gogh. He didn't sell a painting till after he died. Well, he didn't sell the painting. But I think there's some sadness in that, but there's some beauty in the fact that he did it he made all these paintings and continued to make paintings. He didn't lose hope, didn't go, oh, no one cares about my art.
He cared enough about his art.
He didn't do it to leave the legacy. He did it just to do it.
I kind of feel like I like that, because if I think about, like, with my own writing, as you know, I feel like we've had this conversation before on our phone calls, but, our other phone calls, but that's how I know I must really love writing, because even after my entire life since I started writing at 6, I'm going to be a writer. That's going to be my profession and career. That's what I'm going to spend my life doing. That's the key word that I said. That's what I'm going to spend my life doing. I knew growing up objectively that, like, writing was never going to put the bills on the table. I couldn't be author Mars puts food on the table. It was going to have to require writing a lot and never stopping, maybe picking up a part-time job, and family and friends support. Starving artist budget, you know.
Yeah, and a healthy dose of luck in there, right?
Luck, and also any money that you do make from your craft, you invest in property that you can give to people who need homes, because that was my dream. That was the fucking dream growing up. I was like, I'm gonna make money off of writing. I'm gonna invest it into real estate, and then my friends who lost their homes in the 2008 housing crisis can get homes from me, because I'm not a money hungry landlord. I'm just trying to make a comfortable life for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the terrifying things when you... To live a comfortable life, you don't need to hoard wealth.
Nope.
Yet we live in a society that not only encourages it, but... I mean, just look.
I mean, you can't really buy a house. It's all renting. The amount of mortgaging versus renting, like, I look it up every couple of years because I'm like, maybe I can start dreaming about my dream house that I dreamed about when I was a kid. No. rent.
Yeah, no, I have a couple of friends who are in that, like, just married, like, I feel like 20, 30 years ago would be in that stage where they would be looking to
Get a house.
Get a house, sit down roots and whatnot.
Maybe raise some dogs and some family.
And they're still focused on survival at this point.
That's like the part that makes me sad about like why I wish I could have started my life a little sooner, by like 10 or 15 years. I should have invested in crypto in the womb. I should have done it.
Yeah, I mean, every generation has that, right? It was my dad's was Apple. Ours is crypto.
Yeah, I remember your dad, I think, telling me something about that when we had dinner that one time.
Yeah, oh yeah, he tried to convince my grandparents to invest in Apple back when it was very small.
It was still
not very small, but
barely out of its garage phase.
Yeah, I can't remember what the exact time frame was, but I know they had an opportunity and they were like, "Nah, we're gonna invest in something more."
If there's anything I've learned through listening to like investments and like generations and how they turn over and everything, is everything somehow comes full circle in various random ways, and also hindsight is 2020.
Yeah, hindsight is always 2020.
So if some crazy friend of yours is like, "Hey, we have no capital to start a business, but I'm going to start a podcast. I would like you to be a co-host."
Oh, talking about no money and doing something, I recently took a swing and got a minor miss, but I would say a minor hit as well.
Oh?
I reached out to the local farmers market near me.
Oh?
And because I have one thing I like to do a lot, and I've talked to you a bunch about, is 3D printing. I love to make models and toys and random art pieces and what have you. And I have a bunch of random, like, it builds up after a while because I like design, like the whole joy is in making it. So then afterwards I've made it, so I now just have it. And so I reached out to the farmers market and said, "Hey, I want to set up a booth, but I don't want to sell anything. I want to do," in England we called it a lucky dip.
What?
Where you
I'm
reach your hand
American.
into reach your hand into like a bucket or a basket or something and pull out a present.
Interesting.
And then that's yours to keep.
Here's a random question for you, because that brings up a random idea in my brain. Is that something that carries over from air quote unquote medieval time area? Because they have something like that at the Renaissance Fair.
Honestly, in England, like, if you can throw a stone, you'll hit something that got carried over from medieval times. Like my old high street, which I guess the equivalent would be like a. You guys have high streets out here, right?
We have a very expensive one just west of Desert Ridge.
It was kind of like our version of a strip mall. It almost felt like you had everything there.
We need to go on an adventure sometime soon. I have places to show you.
Please. But our high street had like ancient cobblestone road basically that you walk down. And it was just like, oh, okay, this is just normal. And then I moved out here and it was like, oh yeah, look at our ancient buildings from 80 years ago.
80 years ago. 80. That's 80.
Did you forget like a zero?
No, just 80 years ago. So ancient. So very ancient.
Yeah, I feel like America either has like relatively recent or incredibly ancient. Not incredibly, but like really like the petroglyphs and stuff.
You don't need to be nice about it.
And the sad, yeah, I'm dancing around that, but the sad thing is that there's a reason that happened.
I am, again, as I said, painfully American. There's a reason I've wanted to travel the entire planet since I was a tot. I know we suck.
Well, no, it is something, though, that I can't talk with a lot of authority on. And this is something that, interestingly, Americans have gotten confused about before. I didn't get taught American history.
Nice.
Like, even, like, the American Revolution and stuff we barely touched on. Because we have so much British history to teach.
What is your favorite part about British history that you love telling at cocktail parties or mocktail parties? I don't know, whatever trends.
Yeah. Espresso bar parties, whatever's trending right now.
Those exist?
I'm sure they did back in like the 2000s, 2010s.
I'm picking all the wrong times to do shit.
Right? How are we nostalgic for the 2000s, man?
Like
the 2000s sucked.
I just saw a post the other day where someone was saying like, I didn't want jeans, and it was just them wearing, or not them, but like various different pictures of someone wearing like medieval like cloaks and like dresses and stuff, and I'm like, you know what? You're right. I didn't want jeans. I wanted to wear that.
Yeah, but imagine jeans are nice, like, just getting dressed. Like, imagine having to get dressed in that.
You know what?
Whenever you want to look nice.
Come to think of it, I have seen some era pieces recently where it's the petticoat, it's the 400 other pieces of garment that I'm sure all have their own names. You might know more about this than me.
Oh, Lord, no.
Do you have an interest in cosplay?
Passing. Like, I think it looks cool.
Okay.
Me and a couple of buddies have talked about doing a Full Metal Alchemist one. And I got yelled at for suggesting someone play the Chimera. The girl, I've forgotten her name, Nina, that's it. I don't know if you've seen Full Metal Alchemist. Spoilers.
I watched a lot of Brotherhood back in the day, but not enough of it to remember all of it.
It's a very sad scene. I'm not gonna, if you do remember it, that memory is buried down deep, and I'm not gonna resurface it. Anyway, we were talking about doing a Brotherhood cosplay for one of the conventions coming through at some point.
That would be really cool. And
I can try and remember who I think I was gonna be. Not Hawkeye. Not what's his name? He wears glasses. I know that, and he was really cool.
If you do manage to do that, can I dust off my unused DSLR? It's been used, just not in a long time. She's lonely. She screams from me screams for me from my closet. Hey, take a picture with me. Put down your phone. Use me instead.
Yeah. That's the problem about phones getting so good with cameras now is it's just more convenient.
Don't need your dusty old DSLR, but as someone who loves the professionalism of photography, I'm sorry. Let me take pictures of your cosplay group.
Like,
I won't make it weird.
There is a difference, and that like people with better eyesight than me will be able to tell the difference, but with my bad eyesight, they all look the same, the photos, so I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna take it with my phone.
Okay, let's be clear. Me taking cosplay photos of you and your group is not for you. It's for me.
Oh, okay. This is an entirely for you experience. Okay.
Yes.
You're actually paying us to do it. Okay.
Wait, whoa. Before we talk about payment, hold on.
Set in stone. Set in stone.
There is no stones here unless they are being thrown. By the way, I completely trailblazed over the trousers conversation. What were you going to say about all that?
That's a very good question, but I have no idea. But you did remind me of a story.
Ooh, I love stories.
When I first moved here, and my dad failed me completely when I first moved here because my dad's American, and he was supposed to, me and my siblings, teach us the lingo so that we didn't get ourselves caught out. Teach us the culture, teach us everything. He did none of that. And so we get here, and I was walking around, and it was one of my first few days at school, and someone commented something about my pants. And I looked down, and I'm like, oh my God, you can see my underwear? Because in England, that's what pants are, is your underwear. It's your underpants.
I see.
Trousers are pants. Pants are underwear. And thongs are... I'll go talk to the Australians if you want to know what thongs are.
I really hope it's shoes, like flip-flops.
It is.
Okay. My mother taught me that one.
My mum's asked for a pair of thongs from someone before, and they look at her in horror.
I love your mom. How is she doing, by the way?
I'm kind of, so, as you know, but other people may not, well, do not, she has a condition called hemiplegic migraines, which, like the name suggests, hemiplegia and migraine, it causes a stroke-like effect across the hemispheres that basically, yeah, it causes the effects of a stroke. That's the best way to put it. She reverts to almost like a childlike state sometimes, but she has Botox, which basically has saved her life. Given her some quality of life. And recently there's been a new doctor who the previous doctor has been training up. And this treatment was the first time that the new doctor did the treatment. And it has not worked nearly as well. It could just be circumstantial that it's, but it, you know how humans are. We like to find patterns in things. We like to point our fingers at things.
Yeah. Yeah, we certainly do.
I think I've been trying to convince her that it's worth at least bringing up to the doctor that, hey, this time didn't feel as effective. Just because you can't do anything without data. That's one thing that I believe so thoroughly is the power of data. Is because our brain can lie to us. We have biases, we have beliefs, we have other people's opinions, we've got everything weighing down on us.
Perspective is quite literally everything, and that everything makes a lot of noise.
Yeah. But one thing all of that perspective and noise can't mess with is cold hard data. No matter how much my brain tells me I can bend that metal pole, or tells me that when I drop this ball, it's not gonna drop. data shows and data proves that when I drop it, it drops. Does that make any sense?
Yes. I think from personal experience when dealing with my own weird flavor of migraine headache with my traumatic brain issues, consistency is very important. And if you have had one specific doctor overseeing a certain medical condition, it's like almost hardwired into the brain and body that you want to keep seeing the same person. So I agree with you. I feel like the data is quite important on that aspect.
Yeah. And I think the reason I believe in that so thoroughly is with my own mental health stuff going on. It's hard to exist in life when the instruments that show you what's going on around you lie to you. I often do the metaphor of you're in a submarine. There are no windows. There are no ways to look out. The only ways you can know what's around you is the instruments, the machinery, is the sonar pulses, the what have you. And
radar.
What happens when that lies, when that shows a false signal? And what happens when it routinely shows false signals? Do you stop believing in it, even if it's your only way of interacting or knowing about the world? That's how I feel about the brain sometimes, is it routinely, at least mine, routinely lies to me about certain things. And I know it's lying because data proves it otherwise. But the instruments are still screaming at me code red sometimes. And it's hard to ignore. It's hard to ignore it. Because it feels, I know I don't have to explain it to you, but it feels so very real.
No. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Because I suffer from routine panic attacks. That's one of my major afflictions. It's why I enjoy making things but don't enjoy sharing things so much. Is making it, that is a process that I can feel all of that anxiety, all of that fear, all that dread, and expel it from me into something. But sharing that with the rest of the world, that's terrifying.
It's a form of vulnerability that's hard to face sometimes.
Yeah. And it's easy to water it down or, sand off the edges. But I think that in art, especially in art, there is a beauty in that roughness. I mean, that's why I think stuff like punk exists. I mean proper punk. Like the punk where you're not really sure what they're saying, but you're insulted by it anyway.
What kind of songs do you have as an example?
That's a hard one.
You know what? You have my Spotify. Just send me them whenever.
Yeah.
I do need more music recommendations for the next Spotify Wrapped anyway.
There we go. I haven't been into punk, I think, since I was a teenager, and since I was a lot angrier. I'm a lot more into the indie folk, which, if anyone's looking for a recommendation on that, listen to Carl Stibbs. Everyone should listen to Carl Stibbs.
Okay. Is it safe to assume that the pop punk or punk you listened to was between the years like the 20 or the 2000s and the 2010s?
When everyone was listening to punk and pop punk, yes.
Okay, then that's not much of a hard thing to find. I probably have enough of it in my playlist somewhere.
I might be able to surprise you with some more local British punk bands at the time. Some folk punk you might be interested in is people like Frank Turner. He did a album. Do you know the band Nofx? I'm probably
It sounds familiar.
They're a I want to say California punk band. Anyway, they did a East Coast versus Wessex playlist, where Wessex is the name of the kingdom where I'm from.
How do the kingdom things work? Because I understand states and counties.
So there is no like kingdoms anymore in England. That was like back in the day when England was not a united kingdom.
Oh no, that would make sense.
So Wessex had its own king. Its capital was Winchester, I believe.
I like the name Winchester. It's fun to say.
Right? Any of the Chesters. I was about to say if I had a kid, I'd name him Chester. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do that. Sorry, any Chesters out there. I love you. But Hampshire is also, which, can I just do a little lesson to any American listening to this right now?
On behalf of all Americans, please.
If you go to like England or something, because there's a lot of like Hampshire, Yorkshire, all those kind of things. It's not Shire. It's not Hampshire. It's Hampshire.
Hampshire. Like, I'm sure
There we
it's
go.
Hampshire.
Yes, exactly. You don't go to the Shire.
That's a whole different thing, and you might not come back.
Yeah. The hobbits in England, a lot meaner, a lot hungrier.
Hungrier? What should I bring them as an offering? Just asking for a friend.
What they eat, you don't want to. Anyway, English folklore generally goes that they eat people. I don't know about hobbits, but generally English folklore is...
Why does everything love eating people?
I don't know.
We can't be that tasty. We eat garbage.
Which, fun fact, is actually an ant self-defense mechanism, is that they taste horrible to, like, most things.
I have seen a dog try to eat ants. It's quite funny.
And those who have specialized, though, in eating ants absolutely love them.
Like anteaters?
I assume.
They're so cute.
Anteaters are very cute. I don't know if you're talking about the anteaters or the ants, because ants are also very cute. Little ant heads.
Okay, ants are pretty cute too. Most creatures, sometimes humans included, unfortunately, are cute in one way or another. I'm one of those weird people who looks at an ugly dog and can see the like cuteness in it. There are people who are like, that's just an ugly dog, and I'm like, no, it's a cute ugly dog. There's a prefix to the ugly part.
I mean, there are some there aren't any ugly dogs. I was about to say there must be a dog out there that's ugly.
I was about to say, watch your tongue, Sam. No dogs are ugly, and no cat is ugly. They are all adorable, and they all deserve head scratches and chin scratches.
I just got finished dropping off my Friendsmas gifts to my friend's house. We're doing it on the Saturday. Did you just call it Friendsmas gifts? Oh yeah, we celebrate Friendsmas because, you know, it's basically a holiday to celebrate friends at the end of the year.
I love that.
it has nothing to do with religion, and just kind of just show up and be friends.
The more festive version of Friendsgiving. I love that.
We also do Friendsgiving.
I
we
love
have a lot
this.
of friend-themed holidays.
I love this.
But I got really bummed this year because I got told we weren't doing Secret Santa.
No Secret Santa?
And I was really bummed because I absolutely love giving gifts. And so I decided, right, if there's not going to be a Secret Santa, I'm going to do a not so secret Santa and get everyone gifts, but they know who it's from.
Not so secret Santa Sam.
Exactly. I also bought a white beard and whatnot to wear. It's pretty great.
Have you been working on your ho ho ho?
I haven't, but I feel like if I work on it, it's going to feel artificial. That ho 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 needs to come from like the gut.
And it needs to
from
come
the Christmas gut.
Naturally.
Exactly. Like I need to like imagine like the Christmas spirit flow through me and then just let the hose come. But the presents I got are I think I ended up getting because I printed them all. That's how I ended up doing all of them, because I wasn't about to buy 17 presents.
With 3D printing, because I still barely know how all of that world works, how many different materials can 3D printers do?
Well, there's different printers for different materials. Like there's a resin printer and a filament printer or an extruder. The extruder can do a bunch of different materials. Like it usually does a material called PLA, which is just your basic plastic. But you can also feed it in, it's like a spool of like, imagine plastic wire that you feed into it.
Okay.
And I recently got one called TPU, which is like stretchy. And is like, really is, you can chew it and stuff, which the reason I say chew it is I'm trying to make dog toys out of it for Freya. So far it's going pretty well. I ended up stopping the print halfway through and sticking in treats in the middle of the print so that it smells like fish.
So my question for you on the chewing aspect, because you just made me think of one and I don't want to lose this. How would you feel about helping out a neurodivergent friend who sometimes goes through periods where they have to bite things and not everything is safe to bite, and most people don't like being bitten randomly?
Say that again. Sorry, my internet went poopy.
Oh, your whole the whole chewing with the chewing filament. How would you like to help a neurodivergent friend with a biting problem? I'm not the friend, by the way. This is for a friend. And we lost the human. 1 second. Internet problems for the win. And we have resumed, so we're all good. I love that OBS has the ability to, You still there?
Yep, I'm here.
Yeah, I love that OBS has the ability to hit pause in the middle of recording, because the amount of times I've had to do that to stop the shittins from doing shittin' things, which, thank you for sleeping right now, you guys. I don't like chasing your little butts around the apartment. But, yeah, it's technical difficulties, and also you just gave me an experience point for doing the podcast. Thank you.
There we go. Crossing off the bucket list.
I am trying my best. The last episode I did the other day was over Google Meet, and you have to know, I was I'm already nervous talking to people just in general because social anxiety. Add the I'm using a new tool I have no idea how to use on top of doing the thing that's already scary plus kind of stranger, even though I knew Lauren for years. But like, I was freaking out. I was like, please don't break. If you break, I might freak out. Please don't break. And it went well. It went well minus the audio. Have you listened to that episode yet?
I don't think you said with Lauren.
Yes.
No, I haven't.
It came out this week. I will send you the link later just because I feel like if I want my friends to listen to episodes, I might just have to be brave and send them the link. I think that's how that works, right?
So I had a buddy remind me of something recently, and that is kind of perspective. In that, I was kind of freaking out about a whole bunch of things, and one of them was the fact that he didn't get back to me on this important issue. And then he told me what was going on from his perspective, like all of this stuff going on in his life, all this. And I was like, I hadn't even considered that you just... I had gone through all these scenarios, but I hadn't considered the simplest one.
Occam's razor.
Occam's razor, yeah. It's one of my favorite principles, that the simplest answer is often the correct one.
My simple answer is, if an episode makes me think of friend, send it to friend, especially if I want them to listen.
And like how I think of it is, most of the time if a friend reaches out, and especially with something that they created, I'm gonna be happy about that. If I think the only times it gets bad is if someone's obviously not interested in being friends or something, and just not saying anything, and you just keep on sending stuff. But that gets into a whole weird territory.
Speaking of things being really, really young but feeling ancient, the internet is still less than 100 years old. It's less than 50.
Less.
It's
way less.
It's
yeah.
like, what, 34, 35, if that, years old?
I don't know exactly, but that sounds... It really is a revolution that I feel like we're still only beginning to understand. And when I say revolution, I mean a revolution on the scale of like the printing press, or there's even agricultural revolution type things, that this is something that has changed and will continue to change every aspect of our lives. And I think in the beginning people were kind of resistant of that, and nowadays people have started to embrace it, for the better or sometimes a lot for the worse. Is that the internet is... I don't know, I have this fear that we have it in our heads that the internet is like a integral part of our lives at this point, right? At least in the in where we live and whatnot. And I always wonder what happens if it does all go down or something. How would we adapt to that?
There's no, like, at least no visual failsafe for how humans would interact when they don't have access to what's basically an addiction in some areas.
We don't have any test like of mass cases going from full internet access to... I don't know, I've always been someone who believes in the progress of humanity fully. Like, we should be pushing forward, pushing the bounds, trying to But the key part of that is doing it for humanity, not for the sake of doing it.
And not for the sake of profit or gains.
Yes. You should be doing it for for the person, for humanity, to better the individual lives of people. And there are some things that do that. I don't know, there are definite fields that I feel like we could be investing more into.
More like fields in the way of like economic living. Like, how can we blend technology and the natural environment in a way that doesn't deplete the environment, but maybe enriches the environment and progresses humanity further?
No, that's a very important question, and it's something that when I was taking classes in environmental studies, I kept on coming back to in my head. Is it kind of feels like all of our textbooks and stuff talk about it as almost like an inevitability that the Earth is doomed. No matter what we do at this point, we're kind of, unless we make some significant changes, it's kind of a buying time game at this point. And that, I mean, it's kind of the sad thing, because, you know, the whole everything returns to dust thing, no matter what, it's going to have an end date, but we're just trying to prolong it as long as possible. But the choices we're making right now, there's an old saying that we didn't inherit this earth from our ancestors, we're borrowing it from our children. And I really like that, just because a lot of people think that, all right, this is my time on Earth, how can I get the most out of it? Instead of thinking, how can I leave the Earth a better place than when I got here?
I think that's why I like your mindset over so many things, and why we have a 5-year friendship contract at least. That's probably going to be extended after the 5-year rebate period. But that's like the thing that I wanted growing up. Not even just because of, like, as you know, what I've come through, but like, I don't know. I feel like all my hours of like meditation, as insane as it sounds, but like, I feel like my connection to the earth taught me that it's crying and it's asking us for help, and it's not just like, stop living your life and tend to only me. Like, no, you humans need to be humans and progress too, but don't forget me. That's kind of like the message that I got from growing up. And that's why, like, I do want to leave the world a better place than what I found it in some way or another. If my part is to help other people figure that out too, then please for the everything that's like holy or good or well-meaning.
I mean, one thing kind of in line with that, I feel like some people get confused when after they meet me, find out like I'm into coding and tech and designing and inventing and whatnot, and then I tell them that I'm a druid. They look a bit weird, because in their head they got this kind of, you know, crystals and incense idea in their head.
Is your phone not made out of copper and aluminum, elements that come from the world?
If I could make my own phone, that's actually a whole other. I actually got plans for. There's this guy who made his own phone. You can buy the components these days. And strip down a old phone and kind of refit it.
In other words, make it not a motherfucking tracking device.
That, I mean, sadly, I think that it might still.
Damn it! Where does it end?
When they get you.
I think the red dot's trained on me now. No, I'm kidding.
But it's interesting being like a modern day druid, just trying to balance the world of that, you know, Gaia, Mother Earth is an important cornerstone in your life, but also the progression of humanity is, because druidry has always been about learning and passing on stories and enrichment of the self. I fully believe that if the druids of old existed of today, they would be scholars, they would be researchers, they would be
Scientists.
one of the exactly one. There's three paths of druidry. There's the ovate, which is more spiritual, the more tarot reading. Well, in druidry it'd be more rune reading, or rune casting. It's reading the stars, reading the trees, stuff like that. There's the path of the bard, which is the storyteller, the keeping the traditions alive, the inspiration. They're the voice of Arwen. And then there's the path of the druid, which is all about knowledge. It's self-enrichment. There's an old druid folktale I really like called The Three Sticks. And I'm trying to remember the exact story, but the basis of the story is people were obsessed by the shadows of these three sticks. And they were told, hey, you can take the sticks and read them and find all knowledge on them. But they were obsessed with how they cast these shadows. And then one guy read them and actually grabbed the knowledge. He took the initiative.
Interesting. Do you, by chance, have a copy of that still?
Yeah, I have there's actually, there's a bunch of, because druids like sharing the information. So druidry is very, open sourced with its modern druids anyway, because it's actually a fun thing. There is no such thing as a real druid anymore. The line of druidry is cut because both the Romans and the Christians persecuted pagans in general so much. Well, Romans were pagans, but they basically destroyed the religion.
Interesting.
It wasn't until, I want to say it was either the 18th or maybe 19th century that a bunch of people got together. I want to say, it was after the Industrial Revolution, because they were looking at what was happening to the land, especially in England. What once was roaming hills and green everywhere, and while grey skies, there was blue like once every so often, and now the blue was covered up by smog. And you gotta imagine the people of this time seeing this dramatic change in such a short... I mean, the Industrial Revolution must have been so traumatic to so many people. I can easily see why people would... That's when druidry came back. And they looked back into the old ways.
I think we might need more of the principles of druidry more implemented into daily life, just with everything and everyone, because
I can see that. I've learned a lot through druidry, through walking the path. I started out as a Wiccan. a long time ago. Like back when I was 16, I kind of it seemed right, but it didn't stick. It seemed right, but it didn't feel right. It was like trying to do a jigsaw piece, and it looked like it should fit, but when you push it down, it doesn't quite fit.
Square peg in a round hole.
Exactly.
Anytime you talk about druidry, it always resonates so deeply with me, and I have read into it, but as you know me by this point to know that I'm an omni seeker, seeking knowledge of all kinds. It is also my Discord bio, I think. But, yeah, like, I also consider myself to be more of an omni-theist, because omni is all, omniscient, all-knowing, and I'm not all-knowing. I am not, I don't know everything. I know what I know, and I don't know what I don't know. But, yeah, like druidry.
Exactly.
I feel like druids would love the word omni-seeker. They might have made it an actual word.
They would carve it into a tree for sure.
I have some problems with carving things into trees, but you know it's fine. You do you, boo boo.
Yeah. I
still think about the times. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I agree with you on that. With the sorry, my train of thought went. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I still think back to the times of the moments I've carved things into tree, as you know, little kids do when they have their first crush. It haunts me, but not because the crush experience was bad, but because why did I have to carve that poor tree, man? Like, there was no reason for that. I could have wrote it on a piece of paper and it would have had the same freaking meaning.
Yeah, dead tree instead.
Oh my god, it's worse somehow. Although, here's a dead piece of tree with my love on it for you. That's actually kind of romantic in a way.
See, I remember when I was a kid, my dad, he used to work for Nat Geo, so every so often he would bring home cool, like, promo stuff. And, one of the times he brought home, like, they were doing, like, this recycle line or something. And it was, like, notebooks that were, like, fully recycled. And, like, the paper, I'm trying to remember what the paper was made out of, but it wasn't wood. And it blew my mind it blew my kid mind that, like, why are we cutting down? Why are we making paper out of trees if we can just make it out of, like, recyclable material?
Wait. Hemp grows in a lot of places really easily, and it's fast growing, and it's very versatile. You can make paper out of hemp, right?
Probably. Paper's just really thinly cut.
I see.
Material, right?
I mean, rice paper does exist, so if you can make it out of rice, I'm sure you could probably make it out of hemp.
Sure you can.
Have you ever... Go ahead.
I was going to say one thing that, going back to the 3D printing and making things, I recently got the resin printer, and it's been blowing my mind just molding stuff out of light because of how it works. Because it literally, the bottom layer is a UV light.
Okay.
And so it squishes the bed. So there's a thin layer of resin, and then cures the resin in a really specific pattern, and then raises it a little bit, and then cures it again in a really specific pattern. And that's how the model is formed, is by each layer.
You've seen Star Trek, right? How close are we to creating things out of nothing
Oh, I wish. I'm just waiting for 3D printed food, man. That's the ideal.
Is that gonna be possible?
I feel like why shouldn't it be? Food is just matter.
Yeah, true.
Like, we've gotten lab grown food. Like lab grown meat and stuff.
I have mixed feelings over that,
the
but
meat into a spool. Like, don't you want a nice spool of meat?
you know what? When you put it like that, I don't know. I'll try it.
I can, like, you can have a spool of meat stuff, and then I can print you some chicken nuggets. Like, tell me what part of that doesn't sound appetizing?
Okay, but does that mean I can get any shaped chicken nuggets? It doesn't matter what season it is. I feel like I have some snack companies that are going to be really upset that I can 3D print bat-shaped chicken nuggets when it's not freaking Halloween.
Oh, no, I think you're thinking too small. You could print like a Batman model as a chicken nugget.
Batman model as a chicken. You know, there are some people who would be upset that I'm eating Batman, but honestly, bring it on. I will be the test subject for this chicken nugget shaped Batman from a 3D printed meat stick.
So you're saying if I ever manage to make a 3D printer for food, you'll be my test subject?
Yes, but I have one stipulation. I have one stipulation. If I die for any reason after becoming your test subject, you are responsible for my burial rights, and I do have a will.
No, I'll just find an easier test subject.
It's easy. Just plant my body in a lavender field under a tree, or make me a lavender tree farm thing. I just want to be dead in a lavender farm. It would probably smell better than whatever the afterlife smells like.
I can do that.
Okay.
I'll throw in a comment.
So I can be your chicken nugget Batman tester, right?
One thing that is like it just reminded me of something. Someone did a 3D printed tattoo not long ago.
What the fuck?
They basically attached a needle to a 3D printer, a tattoo gun, and printed, I can't remember, I think they printed a word. I think they printed leg on their leg. They just labeled their leg. It was pretty great.
Now I have the impulsive thought of wanting to tattoo one of my toes toe.
Right? So you always know that toe is a toe.
And
the others,
who knows?
50-50.
They could be little piggies. We don't know.
They could just be deformed fingers.
True. That's a good point. Are any of you deformed fingers? Speak.
If they start speaking, then they are not deformed fingers, but...
But I should probably get that looked at.
Don't get that looked at. You'll get detained. Immediately.
What would be the issues then?
What would be the issues?
Yeah, I'm asking for a friend.
What, have you had talking toes?
No, but I've heard things.
From your toes? Are they talking to you now?
I plead the fifth. I can do that here.
To the toes.
They've seen things. Oh wait, I just gave myself
away. They have eyes now?
They hear things.
No. The image in my head is not a pretty one.
Same. Let's stop talking about toes with bodily functions. Like hearing and seeing.
In my head, they're semi-detachable now as well.
Please stop making it worse.
I feel like it's kind of a superpower at that point, like drone toes. Like if you need to scout out a location, you just send out your drone toes.
That makes the best comic book imagery in my mind ever. I need to see this in the real world.
Give me like a week or two.
Got it. That's your next assignment from me then.
Someone said that and was like, bet. And I took it as a challenge, and yeah, he saw a comic as him turning into a Lizard King within a week.
So is the magic word bet, and I used the incorrect word?
Oh no, she did it. She challenged me.
And the best part of this plan, no one can stop me. That should be you right now. I'm your mini me, you know?
There we go.
Which, by the way, I've never seen those movies all the way through until like the end of November, because Netflix was about to get rid of them, and we binged them, and I'm a big fan of Austin Powers now.
Which one?
All of them, minus the second one.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah. That's a trip. I haven't seen those films in a while.
It's such raunchy humor, but it's like done so tastefully too. It's hard not to like.
Wait, is that the movie where he has like I want to say it's the machine with the giant wheel on the front, and he's slowly moving towards someone?
Maybe, I don't know. There was 3 Austin Powers movies. There was something, Goldmember, and then something.
You got them. You basically got them.
Yeah, basically. What is the
yeah, I actually had a mini hate for those films in high school.
That's actually partially why I never watched them, because I'm like, this looks really, really bad, but I'm incorrect.
Well, now imagine that, and imagine because you're like the one British kid everyone knows, that everyone just yells quotes from that movie at you every so often.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Being like the one foreign kid in your school is never a fun experience. No matter what culture. People are like, oh, at least you're from England. People must have loved your accent. And it's not. Being treated weird because you're from a different country is kind of shitty, no matter how you're being treated.
My question for you on your childhood.
Oh,
what
God.
were your 3 favorite like things to do? So I used to bring stacks of books to read with me. Like my backpack was always like a good 40 to 50 pounds heavier than me. I really liked dinosaurs and really liked video games. I had a few friends who were deeply into bugs, and I wish I could have like been more into it like they were, but bugs scare me. They fascinate me, but they scare me.
I'm honestly having a hard time just because my childhood is super hazy.
Okay, now pretend you're a child now, living as a child now with all the knowledge you have.
Okay.
And you're in 1st grade right now as Sam. And for some reason, this adult Sam transformed into a 3rd grade Sam. What would adult Sam, but in 3rd grade form, want to do? Is it dinosaurs?
See, I was never really into childhood was a really hard. Trying to think of stuff about childhood is hard.
I feel that one.
And trying to go back there and remember what I was like back then is hard.
That's why I feel like just through
I
my
don't
own...
think I
I don't think I liked anything back then. I mean, you know this, but people, of course, don't. I went through a lot of treatments to get even a semblance of who I am today. And back then, it's hazy, which is kind of a good thing, but I do remember just feeling scared all the time and wanting to try to figure out ways to stop that. And when it failed to stop that, it felt like throwing things into a hole. And when it failed to fill the hole, I would move on to the next thing.
Jumping from one project to another?
Yeah, luckily now it's not. It's how that originally started, how that behavior originally started. Now it's more. It's partly that, but it's more an investment. It's more. I've found a way to find the joy in it. It's why I'm so passionate about it. Had to learn to find the joy in it. Does that make sense?
I have not gotten a chance to say this in a while because life got busy, so I haven't been able to hop on that many phone calls with you. But knowing what I know about your childhood and you, I am impressed and amazed and so very proud of you for finding that joy, because the amount of courage that it takes to recognize that, but then also rise up and face it, is insurmountable. That's why when I bring up the idea to myself now, you're the one that taught me about recreational therapy, and I really hope you do pursue that in some form or fashion, because I think you would make a great one, a recreational therapist, because, again, you taught me that word, and now I can't get rid of it out of my brain. I've been finding it in a lot of areas in life. It's kind of made me remember that therapy is a lot more than just EDMR and sitting across the couch and spilling all your feelings and emotions and vulnerabilities to someone. It's also like having conversations and water therapy and breathing and music. Like,
well, the beauty about recreational therapy as well is sometimes you don't even need to talk about or at all. Yeah, you don't need to talk, or you just don't need it. You can have a conversation. It's so nice to. I don't know how many people listen to this has been to an inpatient facility or have gone through some sort of crisis, but when you do, every conversation you have is about that crisis. It's exhausting, and then you have someone come along and it's like, hey, want to play Monopoly?
Fuck yeah, I want to play Monopoly. I mean, not me personally, but that's usually the response.
Yeah. And it's like, or you want to just bang on some drums for a little bit or paint a picture. You don't have to paint it. Like, here's, if you want to paint it about something, here you go. But, like, just offering almost like an escape, but an escape that has a route, a purpose. Instead of just running in a direction and hoping for the best, a recreational therapist, I feel like, is, you know, those people on the runway with the torches?
Yes.
Like, guiding them, like, waving them around?
Yeah. Flight attendants or whatever the heck, or flight directional people. I don't know, whatever they are.
I feel like recreational therapists are like them, that they are guiding traffic controllers.
That's what it is.
And that they are guiding kind of the exit, guiding you, kind of saying like, hey, here's a safe refuge for a little bit. Breathe. Remember that it's okay to have fun. It's okay to take a breath. Because when you're in survival mode, you kind of forget. You breathe in your chest instead of in your belly.
I'm going to go ahead and just move on to the next subject of the day because I have many thoughts for what we just spoke about, but I don't want to talk about them. I often find myself breathing through my chest instead of my belly, and I often have to remind myself, hey, Mars, you went through all the meditation and you still know your breathing exercises. What's going on? Why are we still breathing through our chest? I have to not forcibly, but mentally bring myself back to that space to breathe through my whole body instead of just half my body like all the time. It's something I hope I get out of the more I practice this, but I've been doing it for a couple of years now, and I am not confident that I will enter I just do it on my own without having to be like, hey, you're breathing that way again. Bringing it back to your stomach.
It's hard to do. It kind of a good thing, kind of a bad thing about going. Not this is a good thing about doing it, but I went to one of those ranches for teens who were dealing with stuff when I was younger. Mine was for eating disorders, and one of the things that they really drilled into us was breathing. And so it's helped me massively. That was an interesting experience all around, though, going to that ranch. It kind of whipped out a lot of the anorexic traits from me. But it was kind of trying to solve the current problem, not set me up for a good, successful future, I feel like.
So managing symptoms rather than treating the cause.
Yeah, and so I got out, and I still had an unhealthy relationship with food, but now I was terrified that if I ever didn't eat food, I would, cause suffering to all those around me. So I ended up eating a lot more food, and now I kind of have the exact opposite problem than when I was a kid. And it kind of sucks because, trying to aim for that middle, once you go to one of the extremes, it's hard to settle in that middle area. You end up just bouncing between extremes sometimes. I mean, I'm happier now than when I was, but I mean, I was exercising all the time and just in pain all the time back then. But
if someone was dealing with like eating disorders and they finally, I guess not finally, it's probably not the right word. So someone just started their understanding of their own journey with eating disorders. What is one piece of advice you would want to give them that maybe you wish you got?
Give me a moment. I'm trying to figure out how to phrase it.
Okay.
I guess how what I would tell them is you are not anorexia, and anorexia is not you. It may be a manifestation of you. It may be that it's there for a reason. But it's not your fault, and it's not you. You are in control still. But I think the one thing I would empathize. I can't talk. One thing I would point out.
Same.
Is it is there for a reason. People don't just develop stuff like anorexia for the fun of it.
Yeah, that's fair.
And sometimes anorexia. Have you ever heard the squeaky wheel gets the grease?
Yes. I feel like that's a common saying, or it should be.
It is, yeah. And with anorexia, it's very loud, especially once it gets bad. It can get very loud because it looks obvious sometimes. But I feel like people sometimes forget that there's a reason why, like, listen to your body. I guess that's to sum it up. Your body's trying desperately to tell you something. Your brain is desperately trying to tell you something. It's going about it in the wrong way, but your brain is oftentimes like a toddler. It will scream and throw a tantrum and throw punches at you.
Until you finally listen.
But sometimes you gotta take those punches and just listen. Because in reality, it's in pain and hurting, and you're the only one that can fix it.
I kind of resonate with that through my own weird journey with my headaches, because before I was able to, like, kind of actually diagnose it and figure out what it was, which doing it through medical insurance would have been damn near impossible, but I've spent years of my life reading medical science and documents and other people who have the same symptoms, and I have medical jargon in my brain that I can't just regurgitate because it's so high level information that I kind of wish I had a doctor going through with the journey on me, but I was Dr. Mars for myself. And being able to diagnose it and, like, figure out the problem with the data, like, that's what being a doctor or being a scientist is. And I have mad respect for people who choose those fields specifically, because that is your entire life right there. If you are choosing to be a scientist or a doctor and not like a new age medicine person. Even that's like your entire life, actually. I take that back. I'm sorry, I'm an omni seeker. I'm speaking out of turn. Let's let the doctors talk. But yeah,
I get what you're saying, though. With the hard sciences, there are a lot more rules to follow, a lot more hard set rules.
Yeah. Medical science isn't gonna know my brain history, and actually it took me remembering, like, I'm only looking at the symptoms. I haven't bothered to ask myself, like, when did the symptoms start, and, like, how long have they been progressing for, and, like, what could have started it. Like, with traumatic brain injuries, usually that's like concussion after concussion after concussion, and sometimes, while we don't have a lot of science on it, really, it's actually something in sports medicine that's become a lot more popular and prevalent. But with a traumatic brain injury, you have like concussion issues, migraine issues. That's kind of why I'm interested in that what is it? It's pulsato that you do for your mom.
Pulsato.
Yeah, that you do for your mom. It's worked a little bit.
Yeah, both me and my mom.
You've done it too.
Yeah, it works for me for my anxiety.
Interesting.
To the point that I was thinking of you can get an internal one.
The heck?
Imagine like a wire running up your vagus nerve. So the whole point that what it does is it stimulates your vagus nerve, the pulsato. You wrap it around your neck, and your vagus nerve runs throughout your whole body, but 2 points that are really accessible are on either side of your neck. So it sends an electric current through the vagus nerve and stimulates it. It feels real weird the first few times you do it. I started laughing the first time I had it done.
Do some people start crying? Because if I start crying, I'm going to need everybody to leave the room so I can have a moment.
I've literally, everyone that I've seen had it has had a different reaction to it. Like, both in severity and what happens, how they describe it.
Fingers crossed I'm not a crier, because I have...
You're going to manifest it.
I have... Maybe it's a mental block I need to work on, because crying is good for the soul. I just hate doing it.
Yeah, it's something that I kind of beat into myself, was it's okay to cry.
I have not beat that into myself. Objectively, I know it's good for the soul. There is science behind it. Me personally, me doing it, no thank you. Anybody else, please cry. Please put it on my shoulder. I'll help you. But me, no.
I used to be a lot more like that, and then I went through the ECT treatments for a while. Which is where they shock your brain. And afterwards, I was such a crier. Like, beforehand, like, was dry-eyed, never cried about anything. Afterwards, I watch a slightly sad movie and I feel like I'm tearing up.
That happens to me more than I care to admit, and that's why I hate crying, because I'm like, great, I'm fucking weeping again? Like, what is this? The Weeping Willows of Mars? Like, damn it. Wetness. In the desert, of all places.
Rain in the desert.
What's your favorite sad movie? Go ahead.
Oh, favorite sad movie?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think of sad movies to watch recently.
A Walk to Remember for me.
Walk to Remember.
It's also a romantic-ish movie. Although when you have a sad ending, I don't think you can classify yourself as a romance movie. Chick flick, yes. Maybe. That's a whole separate thing, though.
I don't know if it's how sad it is because it ends on a happy note, but there are definite really sad moments.
Dish.
A Silent Voice.
How dare you? That is a very sad moment one. Oh my god.
Right? Like, but I wouldn't classify it exactly as a sad movie because of, like, especially the ending.
The ending was great. There were moments that movie had...
Like, I'm still crying. I'm still bawling my eyes out, but not out of sadness.
There were moments in that movie my heart absolutely dropped, and I was so fucking thankful for the ending, because I'm like...
Yep.
Thank God. It was
Such
like
an amazing movie.
Oh my god, we should watch that sometime soon.
100%. I got it on 4K. So I think it's 4K. I got it on whatever good. I don't know. My buddy has a copy of that and the other ones that director does that's really good. Weathering with You and Your Name.
I have not seen Weathering with You. That one I need to see. And I think, when did Your Name come out?
I think Your Name's the most recent one. That's the one where they body swap.
Then I haven't seen that one either, but that was on my to be watched.
That's a really good one.
It looked really good.
If you haven't seen Weathering with You, though, I would put that above it, because Weathering with You just looks phenomenal.
Well, I do need to watch some stuff today, because it is Wednesday, and I like dedicating Wednesdays to movies, so...
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely recommend. I used to do an anime night with a group of friends where we would every week drive over to one of our friends' houses and either watch a show that we've been continually watching, or someone would suggest a movie or a show.
I got to be a part of something like that like 1 or 2 times, and it was amazing. I wish more people would do that. Bring back LAN watch parties.
We need more. I don't know how else to describe it, but your voice is in my head here. We need more community. Like,
I might have said that once or twice.
We need more not even people caring for each other, because I don't think that's the issue as much, but people realizing that it's okay to
care, to
exist.
be human,
to exist in this world as well, to go out and do stuff, to, I don't know, be with each other. I feel like I at least have noticed that it's just less common to go out and do stuff with people. Well, I've seen less people going out to do stuff. Like the Renaissance Fair, I don't notice as busy as much.
That's true.
I just be when I'm going. Speaking of which, I love I love and hate the Renaissance Fair. I hate it because every time I go, I try to talk to someone, like one of the actors, and they're all talking like normally to some dude, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, they're chill, I'll go talk to them. And they look at me and they hear me talking, they go, oh, he's in character, I should get in character too. And they get into character, and it's like the worst British accent you've ever heard. And it makes me cry every time.
Like metaphorically or actually?
Only once, actually.
Okay.
But that was a really bad blimey. What was I gonna say? I had one person accuse me once of not being British enough.
That's interesting.
I was working at a Denny's, and I went to drop off someone's fries to their table. And I said, here's your fries. And then I come back later to check on how everything is, and they go, so you're faking that accent, huh? And I'm like, what? I'm just stunned. And she's like, oh, because you called them fries, you didn't call them chips.
Sorry, Nancy.
I just stare at her. And I'm like, I've lived here for 6 years.
I'm sorry that I'm adopting American culture in the place that I happen to have been living for the past 6 years.
Do you know how complicated it is to have to explain to everyone every time that you ask for chips what you actually mean? Like, that was day one, learn that.
I really hope...
Why would I purposely, like... They even stiffed me on my tip as well because of that.
Damn. Wow.
I assume because of that.
Negative Nancy.
Right?
Over here trying to police how people call French fries in America.
I'm not allowed to immigrate.
Damn. Like, apparently they really wanted you to bring the culture over here, I guess.
No, there's one thing the world needs less of, it's English culture.
And that's spoken from you.
We spread that enough. We can take a lot of that back.
That's interesting. I have a love-hate relationship with England. Like, on one hand, I really want to visit it, and on the other hand, and I have no idea why, I really, really don't.
Yeah.
Like, what is that?
Yeah. There are some really cool places in England, some really cool spots, but...
Want to see the tower, the clock tower?
You mean Big Ben?
Yeah, I just didn't want to say it out loud. More fun when you say it.
When you said tower, I was wondering if you're going to go Tower of London, which is also, I could see you wanting to go to the Tower of London.
I like time more than I like cities.
Oh no, so the Tower of London, it's been a while since I've learned this, so let me just look it up so I'm not saying it wrong. I'm pretty sure it's the dungeon. Not dungeon, but there's a dungeon in it.
Dungeon?
I think that's why it's Tower of London. Oh, it was a notorious prison.
So the English Alcatraz?
And it was the site of royal executions like Anne Boleyn's.
The English Alcatraz.
Kind of. Well, no, Alcatraz. We don't have an Alcatraz. that's American prisons are all yours.
I've never been to a haunted prison on an island before. I really want to. This sounds like it might be haunted, but in England.
Oh, everything's haunted in England.
Oh, yes, ghosts.
But you asked me one of my favorite weird, well, I say weird, history English facts a lot earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one thing that I always find funny that we learned it as kids is the nursery rhyme for how all of Henry VIII's wives died. And it was something we learned as kids. Just
what's the nursery rhyme?
Divorce, beheaded and died. Divorce, beheaded, survived.
I thought I knew the nursery rhyme, but I just needed to be sure. That's right. That's really that's darker than Ashes to Ashes. Although
I mean, it's informative.
Ashes to Ashes is pretty dark too.
Which is actually slightly different depending on England and America. I think Tissue a Tissue is England and Ashes to Ashes is America.
So are we the ones with the plague?
Well, no, because a tissue also means like...
Achoo.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Either or, it's all nursery rhymes are terrifying.
I mean, if you've ever heard the woman who lives in a shoe nursery rhyme, the story behind that's actually really dark and arguably depressing depending on which one. I've heard some stories where it's because she couldn't have children of her own, which on that alone is sad. But then there was also that she eats the children like a Hansel and Gretel type thing.
Do they keep eating people?
Oh my god, everything wants to eat people.
Right back around to eating people.
Why? We can't... there's no way. I refuse to believe we're tasty. There's no way.
And they taste like pig.
I do like bacon. Nope. I'm not justifying cannibalism. We're not going down that route.
There are many things an omni-seeker shall do.
But eating people is not one of them. I have a friend who ate a person one time. Not actually a person. It's a long story. I might have told you this story.
No, you did not.
No. The way that you said that is perfect. 10 out of 10 no notes. I would really love to get them on the show one time, and I have not even bothered to tell them about it or say, hey, I'd like you on the show one time. So I feel weird telling this story in their honor, but I'm going to anyway, because as someone sitting in a car eating chicken nuggets with a friend telling you this story, it's now my story too. I'm involved in this. But anyway, we were sitting in the car in a parking lot at McDonald's eating chicken nuggets, and they were like, yeah, I've eaten a person before, because I don't know how the subject of cannibalism came up, but it did. And they were like, yeah. And I'm like, what? As I'm mid-eating chicken nugget, what?
As the door locks.
Excuse me?
Wait, why didn't you get any chicken nuggets?
Actually, did they get chicken nuggets that night? Was I gonna be a sacrifice? Okay.
You were gonna be a nugget.
Now, was I gonna be the boot or the other shapes? I don't know. Anyway, I'm sitting there. They're like, yeah, I've eaten a person before. And I'm like, all right, inquiry, what's going on here? And they're like, so a friend of mine, they had their cheek pierced, you know, like that cheek piercing people do with the giant gauge.
No.
It gets worse. So they all agreed that they would, you know, if any of them ever had a piercing like that or something, that they'd fry it up and eat it. Well, it was like 3 or 4 of them, and they had a chunk of the cheek. And apparently human tastes like something that you might actually know about, like not squirrel, like just apparently some people have said it's like veal or venison. I think what my friend described it as was more like chicken or pork. So it tastes familiar is what I'm saying. I mean,
meat is meat, but
I have no desire to actually figure that out for myself. Seek it out. Yeah.
Of all the topics I thought we might cover today, I'll admit, cannibalism was not on the list.
Apparently, I don't know how it happened, but Cannibal TikTok found me. Okay, I think I know how it happened, actually. That's a lie. There is a sound bite that I like using sometime. It's the snack that smiles back, and then cannibalism. But, Cannibalism TikTok found me, and apparently drinking other people's blood or your own counts as an act of cannibalism, even if you taste it. So
no, that would be auto cannibalism.
Okay, so there's self-cannibalism and just general people cannibalism. I'm learning so
eating
much.
Yourself is, I feel like eating auto cannibalism is ethically okay.
Okay.
Personally, that's the hill I'll die on.
Now, this is why it's such a funny joke and subject to me. I mean, cannibalism. Come on, we live in a society where we can go to the supermarket and get an apple. But there's an episode of American Dad where they were on this like family vacation, and someone had donor on their driver's license or whatever, and they ended up getting trapped on this island or in this cave for like an undisclosed amount of time, and they were starting to get hungry, and one of them ended up dying, the person with the donor on their license. And that episode taught me that I don't think I want to put donor on my driver's license. Just in case of, that exact scenario.
Hungry cannibals, yeah.
Yeah.
Because not having donor will stop them.
Probably.
Everyone knows that cannibals are law-abiding citizens.
And they totally care about a little heart shaped on your license that says, hey, it's okay to eat me.
To be fair, the one cannibal you know is a law-abiding citizen, so data proves.
To be fair, yeah, they actually are quite law-abiding. Now I'm scared that there are secrets in people's skeletons. I mean, closets that I don't know about.
No, I like the saying secrets in their skeletons. I'm holding a secret in my bones.
Yeah, it's human flesh. Of all the topics I thought we would get to today, I didn't think it would go so...
macabre?
Yeah. I love it, though. Bring it on. That's like the fascinating part about humanity, and it's why humans who love like Dateline ID and only Dateline ID fascinate me, because I'm like, how can you consume all of that like serial killer knowledge all the time and like still sleep soundly at night? Your brain must be studied. Let me take some notes.
I mean, see, I don't even watch horror films because I just don't like being scared, honestly.
That's
so
fair.
I don't know. Watching something like Dateline or something where it's like real life stuff. I don't. Yeah, I got other things to do with that than that.
I much prefer paranormal scares over people scares, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Things that I can't prove again being scary, sure. I could write it off as I'm an insane, crazy person. People doing things that have pattern or patternable things like, you know, Dateline ID, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yeah, I get why people are fascinated by it, though.
I've read enough books. I've lived enough experience. I know what people are capable of. It's not fun. That's why I'm, you know, want to be a better me as often as I possibly can be.
That's the thing, is I know what people are capable of. I think I consume media to escape that fact.
That's a talking
I don't
point.
want to be I don't want to be reminded of the evils of humanity every second of every day. It has its place in arts and media, don't get me wrong at all. Like the dark and the serious and the... But I think the overindulgence in it can be...
detrimental in a way.
Yes, 100%. Especially in the greater whole of, like, if a lot of the art being produced is more of that nature, more of that kind of perspective, it can just have a kind of detrimental effect on everyone.
And art, while it can be like religious or political or like literally anything in like the dark arts or, you know, like depression, like growing up, most of my art was tales of a dark poet or like things from like a twisted mind or a dark mind. Like not much of my work was very happy. Like there was some works I tried to be purposefully happy, but a lot of it was dark, and I'm like, I don't want to do this forever, but I'm just in that space, and until I'm out of that space, like this is what I do. And I feel like art should be a balance, but also like not so dark as it can be. I love what you're saying on that.
So I guess, and it kind of comes back round to why I'm scared to share some of my stuff, is there's a difference between art you make for the point of making it. And a lot of the art I've made is kind of similar to you, especially in my youth, falling under that darker category. But once you share it with the world, I feel like, you know, you have this responsibility to your readers, your listeners, your whoever, what have you. I don't know where I'm going with that, because I don't want... I do thoroughly believe that art should be unrestricted, and art should be a just reflection of what you're feeling. But at the same time, art has power, like tangible power. I'm not talking metaphorically. I'm talking art can change opinions. Art can change
perspective.
Art itself might not move a mountain, but it might inspire a group of people to move it.
It changes perspectives. It changes perspectives. Like, yeah, where you're heading with that, I like that, because there are a lot of like places in history where art has actually inspired movements of people, like starting organizations, building communities. Like,
by art, I don't just mean like paintings. I mean speeches. I mean plays. I mean movies. I mean
books,
music,
poems.
There are so many different examples of culture and ideas being spread rapidly through art. Way more rapidly. You know, one weird thing I would add to this? Memes. So being able to spread an idea so rapidly through like art and stuff, I feel like memes do that on like in a different way but similar. That a thought or emotion or something can be digested into something else and then transmitted just rapidly, but it's something that only could exist in the internet age.
Yeah, I don't think our parents were sending memes to each other in the 70s.
Mail-in memes.
Ooh, if the internet goes down, are we gonna have to start mailing each other memes?
VHS tape with a Vine on it. TikTok.
Honestly,
Whatever. Whatever the kids are using.
I might be okay with being mailed a VHS tape with a Vine on it, especially if it's one of my favorite freaking Vines. You might remember the sound clip. Sometimes I can do the impression. I haven't done it in so long, so if it sucks, I'm sorry. I still haven't found my berries, but I found these. It's the best Vine ever. Rest in peace to Vine.
Rest in peace.
And then there's the I'm a snake one. I'm a snake. I'm a sliver.
I remember that one, yes. I still have, every time I drive past a roadworks sign, have that one stuck in my head. The roadworks ahead.
Did you just act it out, or are you gonna act it out for us?
Oh, sorry. In my head I did. The road works ahead, and then he just kind of looks and is like, I sure hope it does.
Okay, I'm putting that in my book of dad jokes, because that feels like something a millennial dad would say.
Oh, no, it's so beautifully timed as well, because it's just like driving past the big old yellow road works ahead sign, and it just flips to him and goes, well, yeah, I sure hope it does.
Well, yeah, I sure hope the road works.
Anytime I drive past a roadworks sign, it's the first thing that pops into my head.
If you find that video as a relic on YouTube or something, send it to me. And if you look it up right now while we're on this phone call conversation over Discord, that's extra brownie points, and Santa might have to come down your chimney or something, because brownie points. Oh. That went in a place I didn't want it to, and I'm really glad I shut up when I did.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
Sure. You were thinking it too, though. I don't know if I like the idea. I ended up becoming fascinated with the idea of Krampus over Santa. And I have to go to a Krampus event, especially one in Germany, because those people pop off around this time of year.
Yeah. I mean, I love all of the winter traditions, honestly. There's some really cool ones out there.
I am definitely staying up the whole night, if I can, for the 21st, because my favorite Yule tradition is to hold vigil for the longest night of the year to welcome the sun. Both years I've done it, and I've done it twice in a row. I ended up falling asleep around 4 or 5. This year I am staying up the entire night. It will happen.
I believe in you. Yeah, that's one of my favorite traditions too. I did it once with a friend a few years ago and been doing it since.
Nice. Also, the fact that the sun is now rising around 7 o'clock in the morning is my body's clock is like, it's almost that time again. I feel like doing that one vigil, one ritual every year, almost sets the precedent in a way for the year to come. Kinda. Does that make sense?
No, it's the reason that rituals were created, wasn't it? It's to mark passage and prepare for the future.
I have I should probably do a lot of writing on that night, because I also like getting rid of all the technology, because one of the traditions of Yule, if I'm not mistaken, is like to turn out your lights and then turn them back on or whatever.
That one I'm not sure about. It sounds... the cool thing about a lot of pagan holidays, is, at least traditions, is that I feel like a lot of them don't follow the same... Like, you ask two druids how they celebrate Yule, and you'll get two completely different answers. I feel like.
How do you like to celebrate it the most?
So my favorite part is the feast.
Ooh, food.
Food.
I love food. Any holiday that it...
ham.
You do ham for Yule?
Yeah.
That is such a good option when you are thinking in the meat realm of the meat part of the dinner. I prefer stews.
Stew's good. Trying to think of what else.
Do you do a lot of pastries?
We do a Yorkshire pudding.
A what?
A Yorkshire pudding. It's like it's like imagine like a pastry bowl.
You've told me about this before.
Yes, they are delicious.
I hereby wish to try one.
Next time I'm gonna have one on Christmas, but that's gonna be after your party.
Bring the recipe for it.
I can do that.
Okay. I don't even know how I'm gonna set this up, because I have the party set from 11 to 11. I'm hoping some people, once I bring up I'm planning on staying up all night, anyone want to join me? At least one or two people is like, yeah, sure, fuck it, I have nothing to do for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
I want to see how many people plus myself will fall asleep. I don't want to be the only schmuck falling asleep around 4:30 in the morning. Like, I can stay up. I can stay. Shh. Me.
Well, the good thing about having someone else there is if one of you falls asleep, they can wake you up.
Yeah, true. Like, hey, smack, wake the heck up. Don't make me do the darkness thing alone.
That would be fun though. That would be really fun. I haven't done it with other people in a while, which would be fun.
What's your favorite stew?
Favorite stew? Oof.
I'm really simple, as long as it has either a beef or a chicken and a potato.
I was about to say beef, and you know those like dumpling things that they're like biscuits that you can put in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those and like a nice beef stew. Perfect.
The dumplings is showing off your culture there a little bit, by the way.
Oh, is that not, is I feel like I've had that in America. I think I found that in America.
Really? I feel like
that might just be my mum likes to cook random diverse things, so you might have just come up with that one. Yeah.
I love fusion kitchen so much. Anything that blends multiple cultures together, especially if it's done well, I'm like, more,
that's
please.
The beauty of the modern day, isn't it? That you can blend cultures like that. Like, why are we trying to divide everything when
or
we can
gatekeep?
just...
Why are we gatekeeping culture?
I hate gatekeeping with a passion.
Me too.
Like, especially if you love something, why would you gatekeep it? Like, wouldn't you want to share that love with people?
I think so. Like, that's... Go ahead.
I can see the argument on the other side of, oh, but what if more people come in and...
ruin the sanctity of it?
I love. Yeah. Because they don't love it the way I love it or something.
And that's where my mind comes in, because I'm with you on that mindset there. My next mindset after going through those two phases is, okay, but I love it my way. They love it their way. Live and let live. Say la vie.
Exactly, and that's why with a lot of fandoms and stuff, like, as long as you're all enjoying the content.
Does it matter how you guys enjoy it? I mean,
is there a right way or a wrong way as long as you're enjoying and engaging with it?
Yeah. Thank you for wording it that way, because the way my brain was trying to make me word that, it didn't feel right.
I got you.
Well, hey. I do have things I need to get to today, and this episode, believe it or not, has been 2 hours and 30 seconds exactly.
I was just wondering that because I couldn't remember when we started.
Like we normally do, hours and hours ago.
Yes, as always, I enjoyed this thoroughly.
Well, hey, thanks for hopping on this episode, Sam. And by the way, you did, before we go, the last subject I want to ask you about is you did write a book, right?
So that is all in up and up. I ended up taking it off Amazon because I wanted to rework it more. But
it's still going to have the same title, right?
Most likely, yes.
I hope so, because our background today, since this isn't a video episode, has been a fancy little photo I took of the cover of your fancy book. I haven't read enough of it, by the way, but I liked what I was reading so far, and I look forward to reading your manuscript.
Yeah, so the main thing is I'm wanting to, instead of self-publish, find an actual publisher.
Okay.
And I thought it would be good to, like, give it, like, because I noticed there was at least one spelling error, and I was so disappointed in myself because I reread this book like a dozen times trying to find all the spelling errors. And I misspelled someone's name wrong once in, like, the first few chapters.
That had to have been the autocorrect.
No, it's because my keys were sticky, and I know exactly what key it was.
Oh.
It was my E key, and I accidentally hit the R key instead. And yeah, it was weird. Because I must have added it to dictionary instead of trying to replace it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, oh, that's his name, cool. But so I'm wanting to retool it and really make it its best form, and then find a way. I got really overwhelmed with trying to find a publisher, and then my anxiety started creeping in, so I just took the short route of throwing it on Amazon and hoping for the best. And I really didn't see much sales whatsoever because I wasn't marketing myself. And so I believe in the story a lot. I really enjoyed writing it, and I believe in the story. But I think I need a little help with the marketing side and the finishing it up.
That's half why I decided I would put it as the background, because when I loaded up the OBS program and I was like, we're going to record and we're not doing a video episode, what do I have instead of blank black screen? And I'm like, aha, I know what to do.
If you also, I don't know if you're editing later, if you want other images to add to the background, let me know. I've got a couple I wouldn't mind. I could see working.
Go ahead and send what you got as soon as possible in the Discord.
I got you. But I'll let you get on. I'll set the main thing. One of the things I'm thinking of is maybe the Discord photo I've got, me and Freya.
I would love that. That's awesome. Yeah, send that over. Also, let me go ahead and end the recording. But Thank you again for being on, and I can trust that you will be on again, hopefully in the closer future, maybe within the first of the year.
Really fun. Yeah, this was really fun.
All right, cool. All right, thank you, Sam, for joining us at the Digital Quill today. This was the 95th or 96th, I think 95th episode of the Digital Quill Podcast with your host, Mars Wilson, and today our guest was Sam. Thank you again for joining us, and keep going, humans of Earth. I will see you next time.